Hello. Today's story is called Voices in the Park by Anthony Brown. This story is important um, in learning to understand and think about the point of view in a story. So, the point of view is really the set of opinions and the perspective and the experience that the person telling the story brings into their version of it. So, everybody in this story is a different voice who went to the park. Pay attention to how the illustrations change throughout the different voices. The first voice. It was time to take Victoria, our pedigree Labrador, and Charles, our son, for a walk. When we arrived at the park, I let Victoria off of her leash. Immediately, some scruffy mongrel appeared and started bothering her. I shooed it off, but the horrible thing chased her all over the park. I ordered it to go away, but it took no notice of me whatsoever. Sit, I said to Charles. Here. So Charles is her son, and Victoria is her Labrador, which is a type of dog. It was I was just planning what we should have to eat that evening when I saw Charles had disappeared. Oh dear, where had he gone? You get some frightful types in the park these days. I called his name for what seemed like ages. Then I saw him talking to a very rough-looking child. "Charles, come here at once," I said, "and come here, please, Victoria." And we walked home in silence. So why do you think she made her son leave the park? The second voice is the man who was on the bench. "I needed to get out of the house," he said, "so me and Smudge took the dog to the park." Notice how the colors in his point of view, the way he sees the world, are so different. He loves it there. I wish had half of the energy that he's got. I settled on a bench to look through the paper for a job. I know it's a waste of time, but you've got to have some hope, haven't you? Then it was time to go. Smudge cheered me up. She chattered happily to me all the way home. The third voice. I was on my way home again. It was so boring. Then my mother said that it was time for our walk. So now we're hearing from Charles. There was a very friendly dog in the park, and Victoria was having a great time. I wished that I was. Do you want to come and play on the slide? A voice said. It was a girl, unfortunately, but I went anyway. She was great on the slide. She went really fast. I was amazed. The two dogs were racing around like old friends, and the girl took off her coat and swung on the climbing bars, so I did the same. I'm looking at the climbing trees, so I showed her how to do it. Or I'm good at climbing trees, so I showed her how to do it. She told me her name was Smudge. A funny name, I know, but she's nice. And then my mother caught us talking together, and I had to go home. Maybe Smudge will be there next time. Dad had been really fed up, so I was happy when he said that we could take Albert to the park. Now we're going to hear from Smudge. Notice how colorful Smudge's point of view is of the world. And notice how she sees Charles as mommy. Albert's always in such a hurry to be let off of his leash. He went straight to the nice dog and sniffed his backside. He always does that. Of course, the other dog didn't mind. Its owner was really, really angry. What a silly twit. Look at her face. I got talking to this boy and I thought he was kind of a wimp at first, but he's okay. We played on the seesaw and he didn't say much, but later on he was more friendly. We both burst out laughing when we saw Albert taking a swim. And we all played on the bandstand and I felt really, really happy. Charlie picked a flower and he gave it to me. And then his mom called him and he had to go. He looked so sad. When I got home, I put the flower in some water and I made Dad a cup of cocoa. So, this is just a picture book, but think about what it tells you about how a story can be different if four different people are telling their four different points of view. And that's true for life and in all the books that we read in school.